imagine, just imagine if I could prove to you and show you a way that you had absolute control over how your physical presenting problems, including your pain, your illness, your injury, and your disease. If I could show you a way to reduce the pain, to reduce the injury, and prove to you how much control you actually have over your physical body. Wow, pretty cool, hey? Okay, let's dig into it. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Carol Serby, and I am the owner of the Omineca Healing Institute. We are Northern British Columbia's premier healing institute for hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, NLP, energy healing, training, and workshops. And thank you so much for joining me here today. What am I talking about? Hey? I'm sure some of you are going, Carol, you're crazy. And I'm here to tell you, no, I'm actually not. Presenting problems are basically your body's way of showing where trauma exists. Now, trauma in this realm, I refer to trauma not necessarily as, someone's come up with a boxing glove and punched you in the side of the head and created trauma. Trauma is anything that's created a negative emotional reaction within yourself. So what might be traumatizing for one person isn't necessarily traumatizing for another person. So this is where our judgment of trauma needs to really change, because trauma is very, very specific to the individual. So what your pain, your illness, your injury, and your disease is showing you is where your points of trauma are. And how do I explain? It's like a, when you have a cut or a bruise and you keep hitting it, right? And every time you hit it, you go, ow. Right. Okay. So maybe the first time we experienced trauma, maybe it was an abusive word from our parents, or maybe it was that nasty look from the popular girls at school, or maybe it was actually physically being removed from your home because Child Services had deemed that your parents are no longer capable of looking after you. So whatever your trauma is, from the very minute to the very big, the first time you experience something like that, it might have been, like somebody going like this to you, and you kind of went, what'd you do that for? But it's okay. But if somebody does that to you again 2 minutes later, and again, and again, and again, and again, you're going to develop a bruise there, okay? So our pain, our illness, our injury, and disease is kind of like our bruise points for our emotions, okay? And as these bruises get bigger and deeper and blacker and bluer, the points in our body, what we refer to as our somatic address, okay, our points in our body that are trying to tell us, hey, you know what, this is really hurting me, but you're not paying attention. This is really sore, but you're not paying attention. This is really affecting the way you're living, but it's not paying attention. So I'm going to grab your attention and I'm going to give you a frozen shoulder. I'm going to give you sciatica, or I'm going to give you cancer. I'm going to give you dementia, or whatever the somatic address is, it's referring to a pain point. Okay? So the pain point is basically a representation of the problem. And it's because you've misdirected your thoughts, your ideas, your focus. You thought, oh, well, I'm not going to look at that. So you've redirected, maybe not misdirected, but you've redirected where you have decided to put your thoughts, your feelings and your emotions and what you can consciously process. Well, what we can consciously process and what we can unconsciously process are two absolutely different things. And when it comes to the energy work, I was finding as an energy healer, as an energy trainer, as a person that works in the physical body, in the energy matrix system, I was realizing that without being able to get into the subconscious mind and start to take out the knots and straighten that out, the energy work, it was unsustainable. Even those people that did do their homework, nobody ever did their homework to the degree which I wanted them to or expected them to. Maybe 60%, 70%, some people 20%, some people not at all. So without proper maintenance within the energy field itself, you can't sustain the changes. So the hypnotherapy, we go in and we play around with the subconscious, we play around with the meanings and understandings, and sometimes we even pull back where some of these original traumas happen. And it's not that you necessarily need to know. They might come to you as a representation of a twinkly bit on your timeline, something that's just trying to capture your attention. Because that's all the body is ever trying to do. The mind resides in the body. And the body is always trying to capture your conscious attention of what's bothering it. And we're very good at deflecting. We're very good at redirecting. We're very good at busy work. And we're very good at not going inside and saying, hey, you know what? What do I need to do? What is my process for getting through this? So that's what I'm here to help you with, okay? Sorry, that was all a little bit of a sidebar, but I felt as though it needed to be said. So really quickly here, and I feel a hypnosis tract building in me as I do this Facebook Live, and pay attention to this feed over the next couple of days, because you might find that I'll post a link to a free hypnosis audio that I feel coming up in me right now. So again, another sidebar. Boy, sidebars, I guess it's got to be Monday morning, right? Okay, anyway, so how do I prove this to you? How do I prove that you have a decision on how pain, illness, injury, and disease actually affects your physical body? Well, I'm going to prove it to you, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity to do something about it, okay? So, there's some of you that have probably seen this before. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it works with about 85% of people. And those 15% that it doesn't work for, it's because you don't like to follow instructions. As a hypnotherapist, what I ask you to do is I ask you to, and I'll assume that because you're watching this video, you want to learn from me, you want to work with me. So as a hypnotherapist, I will assume that you are here and you're wanting to work with me and you're wanting to learn with me. So with that, I will also place the assumption that you will follow my instructions. If you don't follow my instructions, then you won't get the results. It really is as simple as that. So, and there's going to be about 15% of you that will not follow the instructions. And I'll be really curious if you can put it in the feed below who this actually works for. So, how do I prove it to you? How much control you actually have over your body? Okay, I'm just going to take my ring off here. So now this is on an area of your body that's really quite superficial, and it's fine because we're just doing a demonstration here. If we want to actually work within your body itself, again, I'll post a link to a hypnotherapy session or a hypnotherapy audio that's coming up in me right now, or you can come work with me one-on-one. So on your wrist, if you do this, you're going to see some permanent lines there, and they're called bracelets, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to find, see those permanent lines there? I want you to find the same bracelets on both sides, okay? And I want you to match them, just match them up. And all they are is they're a marking point, okay? They are relevant in the sense that if you can put them together so they match, that's good. And then I want you to just hold your hands up, and I want you to pay attention to your middle finger, your top finger, and which one's longer, which one's shorter, left or right. Now, because of the way this is filming, my lefts and my rights are going to be kind of weird for you, so just follow the instructions rather than maybe following the video. Okay, so I want you to take, this is my right hand, so I want you to take my right hand, or take your right hand, sorry. Put your other hand, just put it behind your back for now, just so it's out of realm. And I want you to speak specifically to your middle finger. Now, in the chakra system, your middle finger actually represents your power finger. Hence, right? You're taking your power and you're showing it to people, okay? When you use that gesture. So it is your power center chakra finger. So, another sidebar. Gee whiz, Carol, focus. There we go. Okay, we're back. Had that a few times. Take your power finger. Sorry about that. Okay, we're back. Hopefully they won't call back again. Take your power finger, and I want you to touch it, to look at it, place your intention and your attention to the power finger. Okay? Intention and attention. Okay? And touch it so that you know exactly where you're putting your attention. Okay? Exactly where you're putting your intention. Now, this part takes a little bit of practice, but it only takes just a little bit. So what I would like you to do now is I would like you to look at your middle finger with your intention and your attention. And I'd like you to say, with a commanding voice, finger, grow longer now. Pay attention to the way it feels. For those of you that haven't had a tingling or a sensation that was different than what it was originally, let's do it again. Finger, grow longer now. Okay, and with that, I'm just going to put my bracelets together again. Okay, put your hands together again and notice what the results are. My finger is probably 1/2 inch longer than the other finger, whereas before it was the same. Okay? So for 85% of you, your right middle finger is going to be longer than your left middle finger, whereas before they might have been the same. So the point is it will be different than what it was before. Okay? So we don't want to leave our fingers like this, although it will naturally go back to what it was, but let's just tell it. So back, attention and intention to that finger. Finger, back to normal now. Feel it. Notice if you have any different sensations. Okay? If you need to repeat, go ahead. But what I would like to show you is that with the proper command, it happens immediately. Okay? So now, let's try it with our left hand. Again, to the middle finger. Intention and attention on the middle finger. Okay? With a commanding voice, because you are in charge. Right? Finger, grow longer now. Feel the sensations. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Put your bracelets together. And again, this one, my left finger, is now about 1/4 inch longer than my right. Pretty cool, hey? Yeah. This is a demonstration of proof of how much authority you have over the health and well-being of your own body. If you can make your finger grow, imagine what you can do for edema. Imagine what you can do for kidney stones. Imagine what you can do for inner ear problems or dental problems or throat issues. Just imagine. Just imagine. Okay, let's take this finger and let's put it back to where it belongs. Okay. So attention and intention again to the middle finger. Finger back to normal now. Feel it, sense it. You'll know when it's done. That's why you have to have your attention and intention there. Okay, back to normal now. And now my fingers are both back to the same height. Cool. So thank you so much for joining me here. If you have any questions about this content, please leave a comment or share it with your friends. I will be following this feed. If you're looking for more energy healing techniques, inspiration, and understanding how your body is speaking to you, I'd like you to sign up for email updates at ominecahealing.ca. If you would like the opportunity to work with us here at Omineca, go to omineca.ca and sign up for the free 30-minute clarity call. You can schedule it yourself right online. There's a couple of questions that you'll have to answer. And we'll have a 30-minute conversation for free. And we'll talk about where you're stuck, where I can see some of your blockages, where I see some of the unconscious things happening in your system. And you know, we have all these things in our unconscious, and if they're not filtering properly, they're affecting our day-to-day lives, and we do have control over them. There's just so much to do, there's so much to learn, that sometimes it's easier to go to someone to help you learn that control one-on-one for your specific issues. During the 30-minute call, we'll offer any ideas or suggestions that we have to help you immediately and effectively. And of course, you're always free to ask any questions. And if I think we're a match, I'll present an offer so that we can work together. We also offer monthly lectures and mini workshops, and all of those events are available. The information is available on our website at omineca.ca. It's our purpose to support you in your courage, in exploring the clarity, in your intuitive listening to the mastery of that you already have in your body. And we want you to be able to live full throttle so that you too, by your own representation, can give others permission to do the same. So thank you so much for joining us here today, and I'll see you again next time. Okay, bye-bye.